Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
And here we are,
We
unexpected
are indeed.
as it is. We were to be gone 3 weeks in a row, but alas, my travel plans fell apart with the global travel catastrophe.
It was with to do with that virus, right? That kind of got a lot of Windows systems. Or is it something else?
I don't think it was a virus, right? It was a bug in a software that affected Windows systems, but I don't.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a malicious attack sort of thing.
No.
All right.
It was the CrowdStrike software that.
Yeah. See, I think I thought that's what the what the virus was or something.
No. Well, no. The effect was similar, and I think maybe if Windows had been designed some other way, it wouldn't have happened. But I don't know the specifics of it, but I didn't think it was a virus.
Okay.
Per se. So that left me unable to travel, and I didn't feel like doing much else last Monday. And then the 2 weeks ago, and then last Monday you were unavailable because you had other plans. But here we are.
We are indeed.
Back a week early.
And so thank you, Apple's Anonymous, for joining.
At least there's 3 of us here.
All
right. Well, let's start the episode for real.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1.
I can no longer hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Blah, blah, blah. All right, I don't know if you can hear me, but I could not hear him. So he's, I think, logging back in. Hello, Peter. Yeah, you saw James live for a moment. Let's see what happens, guys. Wow, I wonder if he just completely crashed. Oh. I hear something.
Hello.
All right, I see you again.
I don't
hear you.
know what happened. I just
as soon as you hit to go live, whatever you do, it just
lost it, and I had to unplug my mic and plug it back in. So I don't know. See if that happens again.
And we also see Apple says he can't see anything live yet. I thought I did though. I'm
running the stream. It says the stream is running. So
hang on a second. Let's let us, in case it's the wrong. We're just gonna pop this right into the chat here. If you want to go to that YouTube link, if it lets me.
Maybe we shouldn't have come back.
There we go.
Is it
YouTube's
there?
Trying to tell us something.
Is it there?
Yeah, because it's there.
All right.
Yeah, so he made.
All right, let's try it again.
All right, let's go.
Let's see if this works this time.
All right.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 687 for August 5th, 2024. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
Wow, it worked that time. I don't know what happened.
Right.
Everything just crapped all over the place.
Maybe it was that Windows thing we were just talking about.
It's taking revenge on me for.
That's right. Nothing the good name of Microsoft. Boy, that sounded weird saying that as I said it. So
we're back a week early. As I was telling the YouTube live audience, I fell victim to the software bug that ate the flights a couple weeks ago, and couldn't get to my vacation. So
here we are.
Here we are. We're back
to talk about my vacation.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Vintage Computer Festival Southeast. You were there, I guess it'll be coming up on 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll get to that. We've got eBay finds and lots of cool stuff with the news. So we'll be right back after this. All right.
Is that any better for you, Apples? Are you able to...
Oh, my gosh. There's a relative of mine in the audience.
Oh, okay.
My cousin Peter is joining us from Sweden.
Nice.
What a treat. But I'm sorry, did you say something? You asked me something?
If I did, it's already gone.
Oh, okay, we forgot. Okay.
It's in the ether.
It's of no consequence. All right. Let's get into some eBay finds. Oh, let's switch to this one. Okay, here, let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time now for eBay finds. Last episode, there was that auction that included a bunch of vintage 6-color Apple logo decals along with a small stained glass ornament of sorts. They wanted to buy it now for $440.99, although there was a make an offer. Nobody bought it now. No offer was accepted. It's still available out there. And then there was the Happy Mac dust
Mac
cover.
Koozie. Yeah.
For any classic Mac. This one's a buy it now of $200, unsold. There's also a a make offer option on that one. And then the interesting mirror, the convex mirror that was distributed by Macworld magazine at the, I want to say 2004 Macworld Expo, 2000 at Javits Center, New York City. That one, they wanted $75.97. Buy it now. Also, you can make an offer on that if you want. Okay. 3 auctions this week. We'll begin with something that should seem familiar because I was just talking about Jean-Michel Follon and his art. His
2 episodes ago, right?
Oh, maybe more than that. But yeah, it was this year when I got to go to Belgium and see some of his art and sculptures in person. And we talked about this pin. I have a facsimile, not an original one. It's smaller. This appears to be an original one. It's got to count the age spots, and it's the Mr. Macintosh.
I do like the fact, very, very, so the person who took the picture is a tree stump, and they've got it centered. It's actually a really cool image
I guess I didn't even notice that.
Around the...
Yeah, so it's the Mr. Macintosh with it just says Macintosh. It doesn't say Mr. Macintosh in script there, and then a little red stripe. It's kind of the only little flash of color. It measures
2.25 inches.
2.25 inches in diameter. And it seems consistent with one of the original ones. And they want, actually, the bidding's been going up. It still has a little less than a day to go, and 4 bids have put this at $26.
Very reasonable. Sure, yeah.
I imagine it'll go for a little bit more than that. I mean, it's just a simple little pin, but very collectible, I think, and very rare. I don't even remember the last time I saw an original one here for sale. Okay, what do we got next?
Next up, we have a 1985 Apple Macintosh Wheels for the Mind collage promo bookmark. So this is a bookmark. On it, we've got the text, riding a bicycle, a skill we master early, a skill so simple, it never leaves us, its swiftness thrills us. The bicycle, a fitting symbol for the personal computer that gives our thoughts the freedom to roam. That gives us the wheels for our minds, Apple personal computers. And at the very top, it's got a 6-color Apple logo. On the bottom, it's got the Picasso style bicycle. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
have never seen this bookmark. I don't
No.
remember ever reading that little passage that you just read. Maybe it's printed on some of the other materials, but I don't remember seeing it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve Jobs always used to use the analogy or the metaphor, I guess, that the bicycles for the mind. You know that the human is capable of so much on its own, and then you give it a bicycle, and it can do so much more, just like the computer can for productivity or whatever. So I don't know how this was distributed. What it, did it come with something? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't
I
know if
mean,
there's
yeah,
giveaways,
I would
maybe.
guess something. I would think something at a school, perhaps, where
Maybe.
maybe. So they want condition is used, has a slight crease near the top. Bottom quarter is slightly bumped, otherwise in very good condition. US $75. It's a buy it now that is not an auction. It's coming out of Crescent, Iowa, and I'm assuming the shipping is going to be cheap. Yeah, free shipping on this bookmark. So
Oh, $75 for a little piece of
75,
cardboard.
yeah, for something, yeah. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen it before, but it's
No.
also it's a bookmark. It's
Well, if you're collecting all things from this Wheels for the Mind campaign,
right.
you
or
don't have
collector
this.
the Picasso things, sure.
Yeah, then
There you
maybe you
go.
have to have it, even at $75. Okay, well, we'll find out next week if it's sold. All right, and then lastly is a poster. The title is Vintage 1981 Apple Computer Wall Poster Hot Air Balloon.
Oh yeah.
This is a great poster. It's a photograph taken of the Apple hot air balloon. It was an advertising balloon, and this is dated 1981. It's a mostly, I guess, black, or at least very dark colored background with 6 color Apple logos kind of running around the sides, and then Apple Computer in Mater Tectura written on it, as well as also looks like
Uh-huh.
yeah, 6 colors of stripes there at the base, it appears, right? And then some cool reflections off the lake. And it's got that kind of around the photograph, it's got that sort of graph paper grid that we've seen
Yeah, yeah.
early.
They also used in some of the other Apple II posters, right?
Yeah.
Apple, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it says location, Donner Lake, California, photographer Jim Gus. These posters are very rare. What does the description say? It says it does have a pin or tack hole in each corner, but it's nice and bright. Colors, approximately 36 by 24 inches, couple of small tears and a rub on one side. Will ship in a tube. Now, remember this poster because we're going to come back to it later
Oh.
in the
Oh,
news.
all right.
Yes.
Okay.
But gander at that photo. It's it's decent condition considering the age. I mean, 1981.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
They want now. This also is up to 4 bids. It has 17 hours to go. 4 bids have taken this up to $34. So it had a low starting bid.
This must have, yeah. This is crazy if it ends up going for like $100. This is somebody's going to get a deal at that.
So you think
if
it's
a little beat up, I think that's a great poster.
North of 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the wear elements can be framed
Right
out.
on the edge. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Okay, remember that poster. We'll talk about it later.
All
and that's it for eBay finds. Okay. I wonder what's next. Oh, we're gonna switch to you, right?
We're gonna switch to me. Yeah, let
We're
me
switch
go
to you.
ahead and add that to the stage. Just to
All right.
this.
Whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, Vintage Computer Festival Southeast was a few weeks back, and John was lucky enough to attend. And it wasn't just VCF, right? It also included the other thing. What's the other thing?
Yeah, so it was a mix of Vintage Computer Festival Southeast and the Southern Fried Game Room Expo.
Mm-hmm.
They joined forces. I believe at this point it was about 4 years ago, though. So this is about the 6th year for Southern Fried Game Room, and this is the 11th event for Vintage Computer Festival.
So they're all under one roof,
One roof, yeah, one
Just like
big conference center.
partitioned off or something.
Yeah.
Like there's a distinct boundary or whatever.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. Because
Yeah.
the Southern Fried Game Room Expo, we're talking 300 or 400 pinball and arcade games.
I
Those
see.
take up a little bit of space. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Vintage Computer Festival area was basically one kind of big room. So anyone who's been to the previous one that was at the old, was it a CompUSA? I'm trying to remember. I think it was a
It was a CompUSA.
I think it was
Yeah.
CompUSA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the feel to me is that had a little bit more space for the tables and everything than this.
Yeah.
It seemed a little bit more cramped. But it's my understanding that next year they will end up with in a bigger space when they do this joint event.
Uh-huh.
So this year, yeah. So this year it was my lovely wife and I and our friends Joe and Noreen, and we went to. We were interested in both things because we're just big retro geeks. So we had a great Saturday there. So yeah, it was great. It was got to see a lot of old friends. So we've got Earl Baugh, who's been on our show several times talking about the Vintage Computer Festival beforehand.
Yeah.
So it was great to see him there. Last year at Dragon Con, I had given him some Apple IIe parts, so he'd be able to put together his clear Apple IIe. So he was showing me pictures of that. It was nice to see that he got that all put together.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's he got there on the display table?
It is I believe it is a Radio
Shack of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah, of some sort. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also, of course, we got to meet up with David Grealish. Yeah,
yes.
he was there. He gave a showing of the Apple Lisa documentary, and he also had a table there with a friend. And so he, who may have been involved with the show as well behind the scenes. If so, I can't apologize. I don't know the name, but yeah. So he had a table there. It was great to see him in person. It's been a while. And
Yeah.
I also ran into
Wait, I back up for a second. So
yeah,
did
sure.
did you sit in on any of the screenings?
no, because all the screening was Friday night, and we didn't get there until Saturday, so we were only there for the one day. So
Because
he
you
did,
would have been
yeah.
a celebrity guest as one of the featured. Did people
No, it
recognize
would've
as you
been,
walk around?
Yeah, that no, no, nobody recognizes it.
It's too early. They
It
will
was just
next time.
another old fart in a room of old farts. I mean, it's
Well, that's cool. You got to see him nonetheless.
yeah.
All right.
And then the last old school name that I ran across was Brad Arnold, who may have also been on the show in the past to talk about it. Brad has been involved with the Vintage Computer Festival Southeast for many years, probably all the way since the beginning. Also, if you listen to the Floppy Days podcast, he is one of the co-hosts of that.
I believe he was involved with the festival before they actually called it Vintage Computer Festival. It was just Computer Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, one thing I want to mention, and I'm looking forward to listening to this. They just, on the Floppy Days podcast, they just recently did a 2-part interview with Paul Terrell, founder of Byte Shop. So you definitely of interest to our listeners, I would say.
He was the one that stocked the first Apple computers.
Yeah.
So and insisted they come up with a case as an option, right?
That's
right. That was his requirement.
Yeah, that was his requirement. So while we just talk about this, I was just going to have a little bit of video playing in the background. Let's get that volume turned down. Let's talk about some of the. So obviously there was a ton of stuff for anyone of any vintage interest, like a whole table of slide rules and calculators, Commodores of various types, Texas Instruments, a lot of Texas Instruments. There were 2 big displays of Texas Instrument computers. There was a nice Sinclair one.
Hmm.
You probably remember the tic-tac-toe computer, the one that
Yep.
was the just totally
Yep.
all relays and everything. So that was there. They did not have it on, which is probably a good thing because if you remember,
It's
that thing was
loud.
pretty loud. A
Yeah.
lot of clacking.
Look at all those Apple
There was
IIs over there.
there was a whole section on IBM business computers.
Hmm.
One that brought a lot of nostalgia back to me was handheld gaming from the 70s and 80s. So a lot of these, like by Tomy, that were kind of arcade-ish, but also
Yeah.
really not even like computer games at all.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Our older listeners, I'm sure, definitely do. So that's kind of the general stuff. Then of course we had the stuff that specific that we our listeners would get into, which is obviously the David Grealish's table talking about Lisa. But I do want to mention a couple. There was a Apple II's, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly by Kyle Richardson, who had a great Apple II lineup. And I learned a new term, prison monitor.
Prison
So a
monitor.
prison
Okay.
monitor. What a prison monitor. So he had a clear Apple IIe setup. Let's see if
Hmm.
here we go. He had
Oh.
a clear Apple IIe setup. And if you see the sitting on top of it, he's got a clear CRT monitor. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What is that? He's like, that's a prison monitor. If you look on eBay and you look up the
Oh.
term
It's literal.
prison monitor or prison TV, you will
Yeah.
find CRT and LCD monitors that have completely clear cases.
So nothing could be hidden in there or smuggled in
Exactly.
it? Oh
Exactly.
my
Right.
gosh.
Right. So I may end up having to get one of those CRT ones because that looks pretty sweet next to. So he's got a great setup. So he's got the Mac Effects case for the 2E. He's got Javier Rivera's clear floppy enclosures, and then he's
Uh,
got that clear TV sitting on top. There's a whole lot of acrylic on that table.
I mean,
So yeah, that was pretty great.
I never heard of such a thing. And Henry in the chat says he's got a prison clear LCD.
There you go.
Hopefully that doesn't mean he brought it from his time there, that it's secondhand or something.
They smuggled it back out. Yeah. All right. So another one was there was a great one called The Road to Mac OS 10. And so Josh Justice had a table that had he had
Oh,
computers
yeah, I read
running
about
Apple
that.
Copeland, BIOS, Next Step,
Yeah.
Rhapsody, and the Mac OS 10 developers previews. And so that was a fun thing. And I didn't really get to talk to him. Unfortunately, he was busy talking to a bunch of other people,
Uh-huh.
so didn't want to interrupt him. And then we had
Oh, I would
Beige
have loved.
Beauties.
I
Yeah,
would
go
say
ahead.
I would have loved to have messed around with some of those because I don't think I've had any experience working with those. I think maybe once I installed BOS, but anyway, yeah, that's cool. All right.
Yeah. So the last one I mentioned is called Beige Beauties. A gentleman named Joshua Clark
Mhm.
just had a nice collection of classic Macs, but he had something in particular that I need to show you. So this is Joshua Clark here, and
Uh-huh.
this is something he made. Can you hear the
Okay.
audio?
I cannot. And we're
Oh,
probably not
rats.
hijacking the audio, but there's
Okay, I'm
a
just gonna
a
have to pause it.
clear box with a motherboard and maybe a power
So what?
supply.
Yeah. So what he's got is he disassembled a Mac Plus,
Hmm.
put it into this wonderful shadow box that he got off of Amazon. So he's got it. It's got a just kind of your standard switching power supply connected to the board. He's got a blue
Hmm.
SCSI in there. And then he's got one of the HDMI adapters to
Hmm.
output the video from the Apple, the Macintosh Plus board to an
Hmm.
LCD screen, all enclosed into this nice
Box to
about
hang on
an
a
18
wall.
inch by 18 inch case that he could hang on a wall,
Uh-huh.
and it's just
And so
very nice. He just
is the point that you don't interact with it? It's just running some sort of demo or something?
Well, right now he's got it so you can hook a keyboard to it.
Uh-huh.
I could see why I can't see why you couldn't get like a Wombat, one of the ADB to USB adapters, and run a wireless keyboard to it that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's set up as a wall display. He's working on swapping out the blue SCSI to one of the ones that's got the Raspberry Pi W board, so he can remote into it via Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just a really great. I wish you could hear the sound.
What's the sound? Just the music of the game there, or what?
No, I was interviewing him. I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's talking about it.
yeah, he's
I
talking
see.
about him. So I wish you could hear him. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it was.
Well,
it was just
that's a nifty
really,
little project.
Look how
Very creative.
This is cool, and you just got the shadow box off of Amazon. So
Yeah.
I could, it's like I've got a couple of spare SCs. I could
Mhm.
probably do something very similar with an SC that would look pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind. We were only, like you said, there the one day.
Mhm.
And of course I've spent time in here, but I also went and played an arcade game I have not been able to play since the 80s. I got to play Star Castle, which was a great joy for me.
Star Castle.
Star Castle, yeah, it was a
That's I'm
Cinematronics
confusing.
game.
Okay, I'm
Vector.
confusing it with Stargate, which
Right,
what was the game
which
that was like the
that
successor
was-
to Defender?
That was Stargate,
Stargate. Okay, Star Castle, different game. Oh,
different
okay.
game. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you? So you didn't wind up taking any gear to resell,
I did not. No.
and you didn't buy anything.
It would have been. It would. I did not buy anything. I was good. There were a few times that April shielded my eyes from stuff for sale.
Oh, was there some temptation? Did you see something that needed to be rescued?
No, not really.
Oh.
Not really.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just kind of being silly.
Oh,
But she saw when we passed by the consignment table, she was
Yeah.
jokingly like,
Yeah.
"You're not looking at any of this." So, yeah.
these aren't the old computers you're looking for. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm also sorry I missed my vacation.
Yeah, so the one person talking about missing things, the one person
Yeah.
that I did miss, I didn't get a chance to see. He had been there the previous day. Was Lonnie Mims.
Oh, Lonnie. So
yeah.
Lonnie is the gentleman that used to host in that old CompUSA
that's
because
right,
he
that
owned the
old
building and
CompUSA.
he started that computer museum, which
Yep.
you
which I
didn't
still
get the
haven't
chance
had
to go.
No. But I really do. What I really need to do is just plan a trip to go see that, and we'll try to get an interview with him.
Yeah, the
'Cause I
Computer
haven't
Museum
seen
of
it yet at
America.
all.
I
It is
think.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Were they even running like special hours, like concurrent with the festival? Do you know?
I wouldn't be surprised, but
Yeah.
not that I
All right.
found out
Well,
about. Yeah.
there's always going to be something more to get you
That's
to
right.
come back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the report. Okay. What do we got next? We got some news. Let's see. Lots of cool stuff to talk about over here.
Oh yeah. So about
Yeah.
the present TVs. So the LCD ones are definitely cheaper than the CRT ones for shipping, obviously, and also just
Yeah,
availability.
Henry in the chat says he got one for $25.
That is crazy good. I got it on Meraki. Yeah, because the ones on eBay they're going for $130, $200, and then you got to spend another $100 on shipping.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've never even used. He says he's bought it from Mercari. Have you ever used that? I wasn't even.
Oh, he's got one of the LCD ones. Yeah, the LCD ones are cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorely tempted by one of the CRT ones though.
Mm-hmm.
To put on top of the 2E.
Plus, hey, things turn south. You can always then
I'm ready.
take it with
I'm ready.
you.
I'll have my
You're
TV
ready. Yeah. Good. That's being prepared. Okay, let's. I already know the title of this week's episode. Sometimes it just fits. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the news over at 8bittees.com. Javier is at it again, and he's
What?
offering up an Apple IIc USB-C power adapter with
Whoa.
built-in volt gauge.
That's pretty cool. That looks so nice.
Yeah, and it's kind of got the Apple IIc sort of design aesthetic to it.
Absolutely.
With
Yeah, he did a great job on
the
that.
lettering
Wow.
Apple IIc and the little faux vent cutouts. You just plug it right there in the back and run your Apple IIc off of USB-C, which is amazing.
Very fitting.
And I don't, it says hurry that there's only negative 42 left. I don't know. I don't know if he's 42 in the hole and he's going to be making more, but it still allows you to buy it.
I think he's going to be making more. So yeah, he must be prepping a ton of them. That is great. I love the stuff he's coming up with. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Speaking of that, the 2C
Yeah?
for Javier, that is the computer as far as Javier is concerned. He loves the 2C.
I got my little optical mouse that
hang on.
Will work with the 2C.
We need to make you big screen and get that.
Oh, no, that's not a big deal. It's just the ones that he sold. Remember, I think I bought it.
Yeah.
Maybe I bought it on the show.
So how does it compare next to an actual one?
Well, it's not.
That's the 3D printed one, right?
Yeah, and so you could up close you could see the artifacts of a 3D print job, but no, it's very I haven't hooked it up yet, so I haven't given it a test run, so I'm not going to give it a full report. But I like what I see so far.
Nice.
Okay, what do we got next? We've got so over on I think it was one of the Mac groups on Facebook. Let me drop out of this right here, and let's see. There is the Tech Step recreation build for Max One ZZZ.
Whoa.
With KMac Vintage as builder and resellers now completed. Here's the first one with a self-designed 3D printed case. 6 out of 15 in this first batch are reserved. Look for KMac Vintage at VCF Midwest, as they'll have some to purchase. So they're recreating the Tech Step, which was an awesome piece of hardware that Mac support people would use to diagnose Macs. They had these little ROM chips, and you could hook it up to your serial ports or your I believe your ADB, and I think even did it do SCSI? I can't remember if it did SCSI.
Yeah,
it must have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's how connected a lot of times.
And so I got to read more about this. I don't know, if what they did to put this together, if it's all like completely
I'm
from
guessing
scratch.
all the modules are probably all
built in,
right?
Yeah. I mean, there must have been a considerable amount of work because you'd have to find a way to, to read those modules and reverse engineer them.
Very interesting.
Obviously the interfaces with the ports and all this, and there's the bag. You can see the power supply, the ADBs and serial ports, and the SCSI port there. But it looks like it's a really ambitious project, and can't wait to learn more about that. And now look at this picture right here. Do you see anything unusual? Either one of two things is happening here. Either you've got somebody with a very tiny hand, or you've got a gigantic keyboard.
Wow. And gigantic mouse.
It's
gigantic
Mac Plus. It's the latter. Yeah. It's I'm going to look it up. The name is, let's see if I can back it up here. Somewhere I have the name. I believe it's Jason Jackroll.
Jason Jackroll, yeah.
Yeah, this was an exhibit at VCF West, I think. Yeah, West, it says right there. And then the little tag says the world's largest Mac Plus, aka the Mac Plus Plus. And it says, I built the world's largest Mac Plus at 237% scale. I wonder what the significance of 237. It's huge. It looks visually identical to a real 1987 Mac Plus, except for how large it is, including a functional keyboard and mouse at scale too. It runs Mac System 7 like a Mac Plus should, fully 3D printed, one-off build.
Fantastic. All right, so I can tell you right away that the 237, the reason that is
Yes.
so it would fit the monitor he had. He
Oh,
started with the
he
monitor
sized
size.
it around the monitor he found.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And there it is next to a regular classic
Oh, I
Mac.
love that.
And it makes
You know,
the
as
classic
we get
Mac look like a
older,
mini.
it gets harder to see the screen. This is a great solution right here.
This is genius. And do you remember we were just talking about giant Macs not too long ago because they had that
Right,
huge
yeah, because of that huge
conference
12-foot
one?
Yeah,
something
but that
like
wasn't running anything. That was this is killer.
Yeah,
cool.
it actually was. I think it was running some sort of.
Oh,
It was
wow.
projected from a regular Mac. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
And it didn't have a keyboard or anything. But yeah, we're so obsessed with making tiny versions
Everything
of
smaller.
things
Sure. Yeah.
that it took this guy. Why are we
I guess
trying
you
to
could
do
say
that? Let's
this
just
is
go
the
bigger.
macro version.
Yeah, there you go. That's another name. So the Mac Plus Plus, the macro. Anyway, I've reached out. Maybe we can get him on the show, and you can
Yeah,
kind
I
of
would love that.
break down the build and talk
Especially
about the
the
inspiration to
custom
that.
working giant keyboard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that alone.
Oh my goodness! Right, and that giant mouse. The mouse.
I love it.
The mouse is as deep as a full size extended ADB keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that comparison right next to it. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, all right. And then I think that was it. Is that all I want to talk? Oh, there was one more thing, which I don't see the link. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, the RR auction.
Yeah. So this. I can pull the link up here. This almost requires an episode unto itself. We've talked about RR auctions before, vintage Apple stuff. They have dropped a collection of 278 items. The whole collection is called Steve Jobs and the Apple Computer Revolution.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
The bulk of this is Apple and Steve Jobs and associated things. There's a handful that are kind of other stuff, but I mean, the vast majority is just the coolest things. Again, there's just so much to explore. Maybe next week we'll key in on some of the coolest things. Okay.
All right.
We'll just spend an episode talking about it. We'll sort through this and find out. Then, so we'll just give you a little teaser, like the jacket that Steve Jobs was wearing when he gave the middle finger to IBM. In this famous picture, he's standing outside like IBM headquarters or something. I mean, this stuff had to come from his family, right? I mean, who else would have had this stuff?
Right.
But the one I really wanted to show you, there's lots of autograph stuff, lots of artifacts. There are computers, but I wanted to zero in and see if I can find it here. There's just so much. Oh, there it is. You see it? Listing
What's
number
that?
4084 is the Apple Computer Lake Donner hot air balloon section.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's crazy.
That's right.
Wow. Hence the what you
There
were
is
saying
a
earlier.
piece of that hot air balloon that is up for auction. It already has 2 bids. It's up to $550. It is a 36 by 25 foot section of the actual nylon from the balloon. Which is wait. It's not foot. It's because below it says inches by inches, but it is foot,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Isn't it foot? It's got to be because that's a ginormous apple. So it's got to be foot. Yeah, I think they just put the wrong. Below it says below they put the wrong marker for inches and feet or whatever. Anyway, it does come with the poster,
Oh,
and apparently this hot air balloon was flown at Steve Wozniak's wedding to his second wife in 1981.
Oh, wow.
and the balloon was relegated to a landfill, but the Apple production manager Dennis Gobet, recognizing significance, chose to cut out the enormous rainbow-colored section. So this may be the only surviving piece of that. So
That is amazing.
yeah, there it is right there. I mean, how cool is that you would have the actual, you can see how ginormous it there is just laying out in a
Yes.
field. Wow. Anyway, so we'll find some other cool stuff from that lot of auctions next
Sounds
week.
good.
All right. Gray hair, you had one of those tech steps. What happened to it? What happened to your tech step?
I know we still keep talking about doing an episode, like actually pulling, because I've got it,
I
you've got
know.
one.
Yeah.
Of actually doing.
Keep talking about lots of things, don't we?
That is true.
Okay.
True that.
True that. Are we good tentatively, at
I
least, for
think
next
we are
week?
good. Yeah, I'm good for next week.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's close this one out in 3, 2, 1. All right. That wraps up another episode of the RetroMacCast. Next week, so far so good. We plan to be back. Again, we stream live on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. So join us if you have the chance. And next week, we'll find all the most coolest of those RR auctions. There's some real gems in there. So many interesting things. Maybe we'll do some live bidding. There are a couple of things in there that I was like, I need to create an account. I need to, because I mean, you never know what you're going to get at a steal. And there's quite a lot in there too, that things that I have, like a lot of it kind of looks like if I decided to put my stuff to auction, right? Anyway, that'll be fun. All right. You good? Anything else?
I'm good. No,
All
nothing
right.
else.
Well, until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay.
Oh, haha, Eric. I need a cover for my table. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was gonna make it to the Midwest one. Just to meet all. So many people that we know from the podcast are going.
What, is that right around the corner?
It is. It is the week after Dragon Con. In Chicago.
Yeah.
And it should be pretty amazing.
All right.
Oh, speaking of Chicago, Illinois, we Kansas Fest at their new location was just a few weeks ago now too.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw Ron posted a video from there, so I need to check that out. Ron McAdams.
Did you wind up doing anything online?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance to do anything Kansas Fest related this year, virtual or otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to say, is there anything extra we need to do or talk about? If not, we'll thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. We'll little music here and say goodbye.
Bye, guys. No music. Music's not playing.
It's not. Boy, everything's breaking. It's playing over here. It's playing in my headphones, but somehow it's not. Everything got dorked up. All right, well, we'll fix everything in post. Bye, everybody.
Bye.